The pressure on Bugatti is mounting. Mark McCann has reached out to them on multiple occasions trying to get help repairing his Bugatti Veyron's gearbox, and every time, he's been met with silence. Bugatti won't sell him parts. They won't offer technical guidance. They won't cooperate with independent rebuilders. And the result is a situation that goes far beyond one broken car. Because here's what most people don't understand. This isn't a gearbox problem. Not really. What lives inside the Bugatti Veyron's transmission tunnel is something far more extraordinary and far more fragile than anything the word gearbox suggests. Cast your mind back to the early 2000s. Most supercars still had manual gearboxes. Paddle shift systems were considered exotic. Dual-clutch transmissions barely existed in road cars at all. And yet, Bugatti had already engineered a hydraulic dual-clutch system capable of handling over 1,000 horsepower. That alone should tell you something. But the truly remarkable detail came from one of the original Ricardo engineers who helped design it. He said the transmission shouldn't be thought of as a gearbox at all. It should be understood as a hydraulic system first, one that happens to change gears second. That framing changes everything. This is not a mechanical device with some hydraulics attached to it. It is a precision hydraulic supercomputer, and every single function, gear selection, clutch engagement, torque transfer, is governed by hydraulic pressure flowing through channels with tolerances measured in microns. It was an extraordinary piece of engineering in 2005. 2 decades later, it still is. The problem is that extraordinary engineering, when it goes wrong, requires extraordinary knowledge to fix. And Bugatti has made sure that knowledge stays locked inside their factory. That's the situation Pascal found himself in. With no OEM specifications, no dimensional data, no material tolerances, and no support from the manufacturer, he has been forced to reverse engineer one of the most complex automotive transmissions ever built, essentially from scratch. Let that sink in. He is rebuilding a system that Bugatti's own documentation suggests cannot be repaired outside their facility, armed with nothing but the physical components in front of him and whatever knowledge he can extract from them directly. And the rebuild has worked. Mechanically, Pascal and his team have done what almost no independent engineer in the world has ever achieved. They physically reassembled the transmission. They overcame the engineering challenge. They beat the mechanical puzzle that Bugatti said couldn't be solved outside Molsheim, but they still cannot run the car. And the reason why is one of the most frustrating ironies in this entire story. When the clutch pack was being rebuilt, the team discovered it was shedding carbon fibers, tiny fragments released during the normal bedding-in process. Every clutch goes through a break-in period. Some wear is expected. Some heat is expected. But on the Veyron, those carbon fibers don't simply burn off or settle harmlessly. They enter the hydraulic fluid. They travel through the system. And because the internal channels operate at tolerances measured in microns, even the smallest particle, smaller than a human hair, can reach a critical valve and begin causing irreversible damage. The window between a healthy gearbox and a destroyed one? 60 seconds. From the moment the engine fires and the clutch begins its bedding-in cycle, the team has roughly 60 seconds before contamination starts doing permanent damage to the transmission they just spent months rebuilding. 60 seconds. That is not a margin for error. That is almost no margin at all. And without a filtration solution capable of capturing particles at that scale in real time, something that doesn't currently exist off the shelf for this application, they cannot safely start the car. The gearbox is rebuilt. The engineering is done. And they are still stuck. This brings us to what may be the most haunting detail of the entire project. How did it get to this point in the first place? There is a theory circulating among the engineers working on this car, one that stops you cold the moment you hear it. A theory that suggests this entire 4-year ordeal, this catastrophe that has already cost close to £900,000, may have started with a single moment during routine maintenance. One rounded sump plug. That may be the origin of everything. If the sump plug was damaged during a standard service, stripped, rounded off, forced, metal particles would have entered the gearbox oil. Not large chunks. Not visible debris. Microscopic shavings, smaller than the naked eye can detect, dispersed silently through the hydraulic fluid. And from that point, invisible destruction would have been working its way through every channel, every valve, every micron tolerance passage in the system, slowly, quietly, and completely out of sight. You cannot see it. You cannot hear it. You cannot feel it happening. By the time symptoms appear, the damage is already catastrophic. Pascal compared the Veyron's gearbox to the hydraulic systems found in heavy industrial machinery, JCB construction equipment, for example. Not because it is crude or slow, but because of how extraordinarily sensitive it is to contamination. In industrial hydraulics, a single microscopic particle in the wrong channel can seize a valve and shut down an entire system. Which is why, in those environments, contamination control is treated with the same seriousness as surgery. Clean rooms, filtered fluids, sealed components at every stage of disassembly and reassembly. The Bugatti Veyron gearbox demands exactly the same standard. The problem is that nobody told independent workshops that. It isn't in the service manual. Bugatti never communicated it to the broader market. And so cars have been serviced by well-meaning technicians who had no idea they were working not on a gearbox, but on a piece of precision hydraulic industrial equipment where any contamination, however small, can be terminal. If you own a Veyron, or you're considering having one serviced anywhere outside an authorized Bugatti dealer, that is not a small caveat. That is the most important thing you will hear about this car. The rebuild has also exposed a wider problem, one that goes far beyond Mark McCann, or this Veyron, or even Bugatti as a company. Every solution in this project has created a new problem. Fix the gearbox, and the clutch sheds fibers. Clean the system, and the oil tank becomes contaminated. Replace the clutch, and it needs a bedding-in procedure that the existing filtration can't safely support. Build a custom test rig capable of simulating the system properly, and you're looking at £500,000. The deeper the team goes, the more complex the situation becomes. And each layer reveals just how thoroughly this car was designed to be dependent on factory infrastructure. The perfect irony? Ricardo, the engineering firm that originally designed the transmission, has the exact test rig needed to solve this problem. It is sitting approximately 15 minutes away from where this rebuild is happening. But contractual restrictions mean the team cannot access it. The answer to the entire project exists. They are simply not allowed near it. Which brings us back to Bugatti's silence, and what it actually means. Mate Rimac has been clear and public about his position. He is not asking for charity. He is not asking Bugatti to do the work for free. He has stated on the record that he will pay whatever it costs: parts, labor, technical consultation, data. He is offering them money, and they are still refusing to engage. So what exactly are Bugatti protecting? It isn't revenue. Mate is offering them revenue. It isn't liability. He is an adult owner accepting full responsibility for an independent repair. It isn't the complexity of the system. Ricardo engineers already understand it at the deepest possible level. So what is it? The uncomfortable answer is that Bugatti may be protecting something far more valuable than parts income. They may be protecting information. Because every time an independent rebuilder successfully documents one of these systems, the mythology around it starts to erode. The idea that only Bugatti can touch a Bugatti, that idea is worth an enormous amount of money. Every service contract, every diagnostic, every repair that flows back through the factory depends on owners believing that independent repair is simply not possible. If Pascal can reverse engineer the hydraulic system, what else can be reverse engineered? If Mate can document the full system behavior independently, what does that cost Bugatti in future service revenue? That is what is really being withheld here. Not parts, not labor, information, and the control that comes with it. And that is where this story becomes about something much larger than one car or one owner. Modern hypercars are quietly becoming impossible to maintain independently. The engineering is extraordinary. The performance is extraordinary. But increasingly, ownership doesn't come with control. It comes with permanent dependency on the manufacturer. You can spend £900,000 on a car and still not truly own it, because the moment factory support disappears, so does your ability to keep it running. The question this project forces you to ask is a simple one. Do you actually own these cars? Or have manufacturers found a way to turn owners into permanent customers for life? That debate used to be theoretical. Thanks to this Veyron, it isn't anymore.